Hello, my name's Deb Friis and I'm going to tell you about the course that I'm running for Durrington Research School, Improving Maths at Key Stage 2 and 3. So this course will be led primarily by myself. We will also have some input from some NCETM, that's National Centre for Excellence in Teaching Mathematics Mastery Specialists, because this course will be run in conjunction with Sussex Maths Hub, whom I also work for. Dates are on the screen: 24th of Feb, 26th of April, 9th of June 2021. The course is aimed at subject leaders for maths, assistant subject leaders, those with responsibility for Key Stage 2 and 3, those able to lead change within their departments. For primary colleagues, somebody who has curriculum coordination responsibilities or responsibilities at Key Stage 2, who is in charge of CPD and training for maths for their school. Now, research schools, the aim is to strengthen networks of schools, and help them to access educational research and, at the end of the day, to implement it within their school. We want to be able to help to improve the quality of teaching outcomes and educational outcomes for all young people. Online training programs are all carefully designed. We want all delegates to experience good professional learning, and we want it to be based on the best available research evidence. So this slide outlines the process which we go through on all of our training programs. Okay, so objectives of the Improving Maths programme are primarily to understand recommendations given by the EEF report into improving maths at Key Stage 2 and 3. These are given firstly because expert teaching is the way forward to providing a great experience for children in the classroom. But alongside this, the having expertise in the pedagogy around teaching. So we will look at how this pedagogy can be implemented into classroom teaching, and we will link this with research background, as we do with all research school training programs. But we will also look at how these guidelines tie in with the NCETM's Teaching for Mastery guidelines, which they do very well. And so we will look at the similarities between the two programs. We will look at the support that the NCETM is able to offer, and we will look at different ways that we can use these recommendations in the classroom. We reflect upon the current practice in your schools and look to develop an implementation plan so that some of this can be taken back and used with staff training in your own departments and within your own schools to help improving the teaching of mathematics. We will also be able to, throughout this course, develop networks of teachers with the teachers on the course, and also open you up to wider networks within Sussex for maths, which will help you to take this understanding further past the end of the course dates. Now, a particular problem this year is supporting schools given the COVID-19 pandemic that we have just experienced. Now, obviously, pupils have had an extended period of time without support, and maths is one of those subjects that many pupils do find particularly difficult to work through on their own. So they could really have some gaps in mathematical knowledge, which, because maths is a very much a subject which builds upon previous experience, this could really have implications later on in the transition between primary and secondary, and also moving from Key Stage 3 up to GCSE. So it's really imperative that we find ways to help to fill those gaps in mathematics, to get those foundations underpinned so they have the good mathematical understanding to build on. Now, the evidence-informed recommendations given by the EEF focus on particular aspects which make a difference to pupil learning. Teaching for Mastery guidelines also, as I've said, dovetail in with this, and the whole idea is to promote a deeper understanding rather than shallow coverage of topics. So if we can really look closely at our pedagogy and the way that we're teaching maths and the way that we're promoting understanding of concepts, we should be able to help to fill those foundations rather than relying on rote memorization or relying on a shallow understanding, which will fall down later, particularly with the rigor of the new GCSE, relatively new GCSE in maths. So we hope that these guidelines and these pedagogies will really provide you with the toolkit to give your pupils a solid and lasting mathematical foundations, which can be really built on for the future. Very briefly, the structure will be something like this. So we will look at each of the guidelines in turn, and we will dovetail these in with the 5 big ideas from the NCTM. So guidelines 1 to 3 focus on representation, so manipulatives, problem solving, looking at assessing current understanding, so misconceptions and multiple choice questioning. And we will also start to audit your current practice. Day 2, we will look in more detail at fluency and variation and making connections between topics, so having a really good schema to base things on. And we will begin to plan for implementation. In day 3, we'll look at the last 2 guidelines. So we will talk about coherence and intervention, and we will also complete our implementation planning. There will be gap activities throughout the course. We hope to have some online meetings as twilight activities, as well as looking at the audit of the current provision, which you will do in your own schools. You will be trialling new approaches, so we will always have resources and ideas to take away and have a go at with classes, and we will come back and discuss these in the following course, and obviously evaluating the impact of these. And we also hope to be able to set up an online community. The NCTM uses a community called Basecamp, which we're able to keep in touch throughout the course and share ideas and successes and challenges throughout this time, and hopefully on into the future. Okay, so here is a more general slide about implementations, guidelines from the EEF, and we will always follow these in all of our training courses, aiming to define the problem that we are trying to address, creating a clear implementation plan, supporting staff to deliver by monitoring progress and solving problems. And then ultimately we want to have a sustainable model to go forward to the future, so that this has a real impact in the long term on maths teaching in your school. Okay, to book a course, you go to this link on the screen and click on the training tab, and then you will be able to find all details of all of our training programs, including the maths one. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully that has given you some overview of what the course will be about. And do please contact research@durring.com if you have any questions or anything that you would like to be clarified about the course. And hopefully we will see you in 2021. Thank you very much.